Alright guys, so in my last video I talked about how Twitch was being a little sussy-wussy, as the kids say. Asmongold, he said some not nice things about Palestinians.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided.
Not cool. Probably shouldn't say that about a whole generalized group of people. And Twitch, rightfully so, banned Asmongold. And then, you know, there were a bunch of people that were like, okay, cool. You banned Asmongold. I agree with that. What about the fact that Hassan showed terrorists doing terrorisms on his stream? Like, that's against Twitch TOS. What about that one time that Hassan just, like, showed NMP-lol, like, straight-up terrorist propaganda? Also, there was that one time that Hassan straight-up endorsed Hezbollah?
Hassan Nasrallah.
Who's that?
He's the leader of Hezbollah, the general secretary of Hezbollah.
Do we like them or no?
I think as a resistance group, they're pretty successful against Israel. But everybody hates them. Like, everybody in the region, a lot of people don't like them. Like,
I like what you like.
I don't have an issue with them, let's just say.
Yeah, that's, like, probably a little weird. Probably against Twitch TOS. Kind of weird that you didn't take action against Hassan, you know, the largest political streamer on Twitch. You know, there was also that one time that there was, like, a race tier list at a Twitch-sponsored event at TwitchCon with a bunch of advertisers in the background. That was an interesting moment in Twitch history. And, you know, on top of all of that, Twitch, you know, they just banned the country of Israel. Not a big deal, but, you know, Jewish people, they might feel some type of way about how all of this has transpired and the context surrounding it, you know. And there was one Jew, the bravest Jew, the strongest of them, some might say. This guy called Dan Saltman. He has been spearheading a Twitch, like, advertiser boycott campaign where he's basically trying to let advertisers know that all of this is going on. He's done things like creating websites called Twitch or Terrorist. It's like a little browser game where you see a quote and you have to decide if a Twitch streamer or terrorist said it. Wacky stuff to be found there. He made a website called danclancysucks.com, which just, like, chronicles a bunch of negative things about Twitch in relation to all of this. Dan Clancy, by the way, is the CEO of Twitch, if you didn't know. He also made this website called advertiseontwitch.com. Literally what it does is it plays an advertisement on Twitch, which is then followed up by a clip on Twitch of somebody saying, like, a bad thing. And he's actually managed to be, like, pretty successful in all of this. I think you also have to give credit to, like, Ethan Klein, H3H3. He's made a ton of content surrounding the situation, and he's probably, like, the main reason why it's, like, as talked about as it is. But yeah, Dan Saltman has been, like, targeting advertisers specifically, which is invariably going to cause the most damage, because there is now a Twitch adpocalypse that Twitch is dealing with.
My Twitch dashboard for the first time yesterday, my advertising revenue is down 95%. I average about $100 to $200 a day in ad revenue, right? 5 days a week, you're talking about $600-700 a week. You're talking about $2,800 a month, you know, $3,000 a month. I make about $8,000 a month on average, and sometimes 9, right? So it's about 40% of my, sometimes 50% of my income. I'm averaging $15. $15 fucking dollars in ad revenue.
Or is there actually an adpocalypse? It is a debate that the scholars of Twitch are arguing over.
Not politics, not personal politics, not policy, just the market's reaction. And so Friday before stream, I decided to take that tag off. I took off veteran as well, just in case. And guess what? It came back.
But here's the deal, though. And I'm not saying this is them. I'm saying to the original tweet, the adpocalypse is definitely still a thing. The tag is what suppressed this. That's why it's this. The tag is what did this specifically. But the reason why these won't go higher, and as the month goes on, they're probably going to drop, is what I'm going to talk about.
There's not a fucking adpocalypse. I never said there was an adpocalypse.
There is.
I said that I'm being affected by other people's shit. And so what did I do? I took off the election tag, and guess what happened?
Yep.
My money came back. So sorry, drama frogs who were like, this is an adpocalypse. No, it's not.
So the reason why there is an adpocalypse is you're not going to see it here. And it also depends on how many ads you're running, is that there is significantly less ads definitely on the platform. And this screen is showing up much, much more. And the reason why this screen is showing up more is because they're running out of ads. And so if they're running out of ads this quickly, and what I mean by this quickly is I am not going to show you my dashboard, but I will tell you that there is a massive, massive, massive drop.
The first clip that I showed there, that was the stock guy. He was explaining how he was just seeing less ads. And then in the second clip that I showed, he was sort of clarifying the next day that, well, actually, I just took off certain tags that seemed to be demonetized and my advertisers came back. And then I think I played enough of the other guy explaining how, no, there actually is somewhat of an adpocalypse. Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm super knowledgeable about advertising on Twitch and how it all works. But, like, there has been reporting by Richard Lewis, who is, like, an esports reporter, talking about how he has, like, sources or whatever that has told him that, yes, there is a significant amount of advertisers that have pulled out of Twitch. And, like, at the end of the day, even if we want to say that it's not technically an adpocalypse because not literally everybody is being affected by this, it's still a pretty significant thing that is damaging Twitch overall. Because of this campaign to let advertisers know about what Twitch has been doing, or I guess not doing, they have had to implement a system where the politics and sensitive social issues tags allow advertisers to opt out of advertising on that type of content. That on its own is a really big deal. Twitch has even gone so far as to label Zionist as a slur when you're using it against Jewish people. There seems to be a lot of coping, right? People trying to act like, the Twitch adpocalypse isn't real, there's nothing to worry about, you know, the advertiser campaign hasn't been successful, when it's just like, no, it definitely has. Twitch wouldn't have done all of this if that wasn't the case. And, you know, I'll reiterate what I said in my first video, where I'm generally not for this kind of things. I would kind of label myself as like a, you know, free speech guy. Like, I think people should be allowed to say what they think. If you disagree with them, then you have a debate or whatever, and free marketplace of ideas and stuff like that. But like, one of my personal lines that I definitely feel like should be there is, if you do things like promote violence, you probably shouldn't be able to do that. Terrorism, like, crosses that line, and supporting terrorism crosses that line. And like, at the end of the day, what's especially bad is when you have a TOS but you don't enforce it equally. Once people aren't being treated equally, then yeah, people are gonna get upset. Also, yeah, like, banning Israel is like beyond the pale. Like, that's insane. But yeah, at the same time, I definitely feel bad for like other streamers that haven't been saying a bunch of crazy things. Like, the fact that their income has been impacted as well is definitely unfortunate.
My ad revenue went from $10,000 plus at some points per day to now like $2,000 a day. If I want to make $2,000 a day, I'll go be a fucking mailman, okay?
Okay, so I guess I don't actually feel that bad for the Twitch streamers. So I also want to talk about Ludwig. Ludwig somehow managed to make a video about this without, like, bringing up the things that Hassan did. It's insane.
But first, we have to talk about why they pulled out. Where did the advertisers go? Do they hate Twitch all of a sudden? Well, the genesis of this, as far as I can tell, is when Asmon got banned off of Twitch.
True. He did get banned off of Twitch. I would also agree that that is the genesis.
Because, you see, Asmon got banned after making some comments about Palestinian people. Some very negative comments.
Yeah, man. I mean, he made those negative comments. I think it's fair to assert the opinion that the comments were negative. Good commentary so far by Ludwig.
And this sort of caused a domino effect where people are like, okay, you ban Asmon for saying this thing about Palestinian people, But, you know, what about this person saying this thing about this people? And that happened a lot.
So the thing about Ludwig is that he pretty much subsists entirely off of Hassan's cum. 24/7, he is just constantly guzzling with just buckets and buckets and buckets of it. Ludwig is just friends with Hassan, and he just refuses to criticize him. And you know what? I get that. You know, when you're friends with somebody, you're obviously going to be charitable towards them. But, like, if that's the case, why even cover the topic in the first place? You know, this is like if a commentary YouTuber decided to, like, randomly make a video about Anne Frank. The Anne Frank situation is crazy. Yeah, so this Jewish girl, Anne Frank, she wrote a diary. Why did she write a diary? Well, you know, some people did these things to some other people, and she decided to write a diary about it. You just shouldn't have made the video, Ludwig. Just don't make a video about the topic if you're not going to talk about the topic.
There's currently in Twitch world a piss match, right? Hassan is blaming Asmongold for the Adpocalypse for teaming up with people who he says, and Asmon is
Looking at me and blaming me. I want to say you're welcome.
taking blame himself and probably talking about DEI again for the 100th time.
The reality is that Twitch itself is to blame. They are the ones that refused to consistently apply their TOS. Like, at the end of the day, is Hassan being a bit of a silly goose? Like, yeah. But, like, in this situation, Hassan is a toddler. And Hassan is a toddler that is just, like, repeatedly shitting on the floor. And it's like, sure, the toddler shouldn't be doing that. But Twitch is the parent. And the parent is just refusing to reprimand their child. To this day, as of recording this video, Twitch has not banned Hassan. To their credit, they've banned some of the other creators, right? Like the people that were on that race tier list. They did actually get banned. But like Hassan is the primary reason why all of this is happening. Their largest political streamer was endorsing terrorism. Their largest political streamer was showing terrorist propaganda. And Twitch still hasn't punished him for it. Because it just needs to be said that they didn't even need to update their community guidelines. They just had to enforce their already existing rules. None of this would have happened if they had just done that. Also, by the way, I'll address some of the comments on my last video here at the end of this one. Most of the Hassan defenders just didn't even provide any substantive arguments. The closest one of them got was basically saying that, well, you don't understand. The clips that you showed were out of context. There were other streams where Hassan actually explained why, you know, the Houthis and Hezbollah have done bad things, and he's said that the bad things that they do are actually bad. And it's like, maybe those other streams exist where Hassan gives more nuanced takes and he doesn't fully endorse, you know, terrorists. But, like, that doesn't absolve Hassan for the clips that I've showed. Like, if a toddler shits on the floor and then another day they decide not to shit on the floor, they still deserve to be punished for the day that they shit on the floor. This is a great analogy, and I think it's getting the point across well, so I'm going to stick with it. The specific criticism is that in these instances, Hassan broke the TOS, and Twitch should be enforcing it. like that is the most mild, not hot take in the world, but Hassan fans are trying to act like I am living on the surface of the sun. Also, I'll take this opportunity to say that you can now become a member of the channel. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I have a full-time job. I upload stuff on this channel. I also have a second channel that I upload to. I don't really have the bandwidth to like consistently upload members-only content, but every now and then there will be extra content there. So I have one members-only video uploaded. It's actually me reading and responding to the comments on my last video. I actually like that idea because doing videos like reacting to comments doesn't really feel like main channel material. So yeah, every now and then when I get a good idea of something that I can do, I will be uploading members only content. But if I'm being for real with you guys, you should really only become a member if you dig the content and you want to support me. I mean, that's really it. And if you do, I appreciate it. But in any case, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.